Hey guys, Arm&Gun here. Today, revisiting one of the most popular topics I ever discussed in a video, and that was the top 5 innovative firearms of the last decade. Now, that was a video I put out over a year ago. It was one of my first videos, but a year and a half ago, over 100,000 subscribers ago. Guys, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate the support over all this time. And you know what? I've learned a lot, I've shot a lot, talked to a lot of people, taken a lot of feedback, and taking it to heart. So I figured it was worthwhile revisiting this topic. Also, that video has been consistently one of my most watched videos recently, so I thought there's some interest in this topic. Let's jump back into it and talk about it a little bit more here. So I thought I would take what I've learned over the last year and a half or so and you know what, revisit these things. Some guns that I originally considered the most innovative, I don't consider the most innovative anymore. So I thought we'll just, we'll park ourselves down over here. We'll pull the guns off the wall one at a time and go through what makes them, why I originally picked them as the most innovative, what's changed, and what I still think about what makes them so friggin' cool. So we're gonna do that. I'll give you a quick flyby of the wall, going through actually all the guns on the wall this time. Some of them are there for the purpose, some of them are just there to look hella sexy, like that Dragunov SVD. No, that one's not from Copper Custom. That one is just straight up from Russia. No qualms about it. Here we have the Deserttech SRS Covert. It's the Gen 1 gun. They now have a Gen 2 out, the SRS A2. Pretty slick stuff. We have a SIG Rattler, but more or less we're just talking about the SIG MPX platform as a whole here. We have the B&T USW. Then we have a new one that just came in, the Fix by Q. Not a new gun though. This thing's been out since like 2016, 2017, and it's been increasing in popularity. We have the MCR by Fightlite, Mission Configurable Rifle. This is notably the belt-fed AR-15. Then we have a gun that you should definitely know if you follow me, because I'm the main dude on YouTube that talks about these things. This is the GM6 Lynx, the semi-automatic, long recoil action, 50 caliber rifle. One of the coolest guns, I think, in existence. Then we have the MPX. You guys will be pleased to see that I ditched the carry handle and the long barrel. We have it set up in a K configuration. I do still have the original telescopic stock, but that's just for some, some OG feels there. It's I'm definitely digging the 4.5-inch barrel. By the way, I've gotten married in the last year, if you haven't seen my content in a while. It's been a big year. And then we have a Glock just for stand-in. That doesn't really have any other purpose of the video, but that's the flyby. I guess I missed a couple here. We got the SIG 553, we got a Tavor in the corner, the Lottie L39 anti-tank rifle, just a token anti-tank rifle. We need that, definitely, in the channel. Icon G223, Galil Micro, tin-coated, and then we have the ADM UAC Mod 2. Been doing videos about that a little while ago. Gonna have some more rolling up shortly. So, oh, I guess I forgot there's an M2 in the ground as well. All right, guys, we're gonna lock the camera in place and we're gonna go through these. And kicking things off from up top, we have the SIG MPX. Guys, why do I still think this is one of the most innovative firearms of the last decade? Not only do I think that, I think this is the biggest thing that has happened to SMGs and PCCs, pistol caliber carbines, since the advent of the MP5, the Roller Lock Wonder. Guys, this thing, not only does it marry all the controls of the AR-15 in a nice handy SMG platform, which is really slick, definitely love all of that. Last round bolt hold, all that good stuff, quick change barrel at the user level, lots of good stuff. The biggest thing though is that for me, it features a rotating, locked barrel. Again, same system there as the AR-15. You can just see the extractor just roll in there. This thing is a locked breech, which means it is safer, more accurate, because there's a repeatable lockup every single time, and less recoil, because it's not a simple blowback where it's just relying on mass, this big chunk cycling back and forth. No, this thing is actually being efficient. Using a little piston tappet system in there that helps knock this back, overcomes the leverage and unlocks the bolt. All of that allows you to have a smaller, lighter reciprocating mass, decrease the pressures in there before the bullet leaves the barrel, or sorry, rather before the chamber unlocks. Gives you a smoother shooting, more accurate firearm. Softer recoiling, lots of pluses, and very usable. So for those reasons, and also it's sexy as hell, this thing stays in one of my top 5 innovative firearms of the last decade. All right, guys, piggybacking off the MPX, we have the MCX, and this one in particular is the Rattler, the little 5.5-inch 300 blackout. This thing is pretty damn cool. Again, we are clear, and this one doesn't have that little bolt release, so I threw on a little phase 5, and yeah, looking good up in here, but ooh. Guys, why do I like this? Well, this thing is basically the AR-18 system reimagined. It has, well, like so many other guns that we see nowadays with that AR-18 style operating system. This thing, again, can drop on a mil-spec AR-15 lower, which is pretty cool. M16 lower. You can do a little funny stuff in the back here, but it allows you to change out and have a folding stock. You can shoot this thing folded because there's no receiver extension coming out of here. Your bolt isn't forced to cycle into your stock. These things have proven to be quite reliable. Again, it's similar piston tappet system that the MPX uses. Basically, this is a scaled up MPX, or rather the MPX is a scaled down MCX. Really like this system. Don't need to talk about it a whole heck of a lot more other than change out your factory charging handle. And yeah, guys, really like the system. I've done a lot of mods to this. You guys can see the mods video here. And overall, this is just a further development of the base AR-15 M16 platform, just getting better. Just getting better. Complaints, a little heavy, but otherwise there are some pros. Quick change barrel, things like that. But yeah, MCX still sits up there. It's kind of piggybacking. MCX, MPX kind of occupy, I would say, one slot on this list. Alrighty, guys, next up we have the Fix by Q. This thing, full disclaimer, I'm in love with this thing. I'm going to be super biased about it. I should have had this thing in my last video for the Most Innovative Firearms. I just didn't know about it back then. But man, I have watched every single video that I could find out about this thing, and the development and engineering and design and creativity and just everything that went into this thing was pretty unreal. And a cool statement from the owner, the founder of Q, Kevin Brittingham, is he decided to go for the Fix because bolt guns hadn't really seen any major development since the Mauser K98, which is a freaking bold statement. But I can't fault the guy for making it. Everything that's come out since then is basically built on and improved the Mauser K98. This is a full radical departure. This thing, guys, this is like 6 pounds. I'm holding this thing with my outstretched arm while I'm filming this in front of my camera. I'm not even breaking a sweat. This is light. And this is also like take 5 of the segment, so just shh. But this thing, yeah, light enough to be a hunting rifle, has all the ergonomics and features of a full-on tactical, bench rest rig. It's pretty freaking cool. So right down to this hinge, which I'm told one of their lead engineers spent 9 months perfecting. This thing is unreal. We'll never lose it. They developed this hinge in such a way that even as it wears and through more use, it will always have a super tight lockup, the way the geometry works in there. Really cool stuff. The biggest thing, though, is probably, in my opinion, the fact that there's no chassis. This gun is built like an AR-15, in a sense like an AR-15, not to consider that it's incorporated AR-like controls, modern ergonomics, AR grip. You get a Radiant Talon safety in there. AR-style mag release, takes SR25 mags, which means, Kevin's going to be screaming at me in a second here, you can literally run the mag pull drum in this thing, which is, I've never done that. I've never seen this before. This looks wild. But you can also be more practical and just run something sweet like an actual Knight's SR25 mag. But all in all, it's beautiful. It's beautiful right down to the rail, the Q-cert system. It's a lot of cool stuff. This is a user changeable barrel. I just really like it. But the fact that it did away with the chassis and incorporated just a receiver allows it to get a huge component out of the gun. And it really makes it light, nice tight, and just, oh, I love this thing. I'm gonna have a full video series coming out on this thing soon. Full disclaimer, I am incredibly biased, but that's just me. I will try and still discuss its merits and drawbacks in the video to be as unbiased as possible. Anyways, guys, that's the Fix by Q. Sorry if I rambled. I'm just kind of in love with it. Next up, we'll see. Alrighty, guys, for the third gun on the list, we have, once again, unchallenged, the Fightlite MCR, Mission Configurable Rifle. The reason that this thing, I think, is one of the most innovative developments in firearms in the last, it's kind of changing my title a little bit. I guess I should consider this thing a standalone firearm. It's a belt-fed upper that's plug and play with an M16 or M4 AR-15 lower, which this is right here. I guess, by the way, guys, we are clear. But the cool thing is with very little, like there's a little bolt catch here, it needs to be shaved off to accommodate the wider lower. And then because it's a side charger, you can't, it's not compatible with all stocks. It binds up in some spots. But otherwise, this thing is plug and play, and you can run belts, Exhibit A, or mags, Exhibit B. So it runs both. It's known for running both very well because it is an adjustable gas system, which allows you to, because a fun fact, the reason that the SAW has a terrible reputation for running mags when the belt system is that the gas system requires more energy to run the feed pulls and stuff up in here. That's this whole system here. More gas, the system needs to have more gas in it to run that well. So when you run a mag in there that has a spring assist that's feeding the cartridges right into the action, you don't need as much gas. So you've overgassed, your action overruns what this thing can do, and you jam it up. So when you have an adjustable gas system like this, you can dial it back if need be, and the system runs nicely. The Israelis figured this out with the Negev, and that's why the Negev, in my opinion, kicks the SAW's ass. Lol, it's true, but I still love the SAW. You can also run hundos in this thing, which looks freaking ridiculous, but it's pretty cool. Anyways, by and large, I consider this gun one of the most innovative things because it's half the price, half the weight of the typical squad automatic. Incorporates all the things of, or all the controls and ergonomics of an AR-15, which is considered one of the most ergonomic platforms out there in soldier-friendly systems. So I'm really digging that. Again, the user adjustable gas system, and the fact that it has a quick change barrel system, again, by the user. Press this down and pull the barrel right out. It's that simple, and that is a crucial feature of any, proper squad automatic weapon, because without that your barrel overheats and then you're kind of hooped. So again, firing from the closed bolt, that's one other consideration. This thing, when it heats up, would be at risk of, cook-offs, things like that, but that's why. Quick change barrel, there are little, handles and things you can hook in there to make that a little bit user-friendly of an experience. By and large, though, I think this thing is awesome. And again, it combines all the features of the AR-15 in the system. You can plug and play this thing into your unit really easily. So all you need to do is throw this upper on a traditional lower. It's really easy for things to retroactively integrate into their system. I just really like it, guys. That's my thoughts, it's my opinion, and that's why for me it's still part of the top 5. Alrighty, gents, we have the Deserttech SRS Covert. This thing is beautiful. I love the system. So we're clear. Check out this trigger pull for a bullpup. Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing, and it's user adjustable. Guys, I've pulled this off my list of top 5 innovative firearms because this is largely a more ergonomic and user-friendly version of the DSR Precision DSR-1 that I recently did a video series on. So you guys want to check out my previous videos on my channel, you guys can learn all about that wicked awesome gun. That thing was developed back in 2000. It's a German company and it was developed specifically for tactical law enforcement use. It's awesome. It's awesome. And I would argue that the Covert here, the SRS system, is arguably, it's probably better. But I just don't think there was enough done, innovation-wise. This is an awesome firearm, in my opinion. I would recommend it, especially the new A2 version, which is much lighter. I think it's awesome. And it was in my first one because I really liked it. I just think when compared against something like the Fix, that thing is actually quite revolutionary in the things that it's gone for and achieved insofar as a bolt action. So my vote is with the Q Fix for innovation. I still think this is a fantastic firearm. I love bullpups, and this is still gonna have its place in my arsenal. But anyways, that's just my thoughts there. However, I will give Deserttech some solid kudos for the MDR. That was a platform where they did strive for some very innovative features. The bullpup, probably the most universal, ambidextrous, soldier-friendly system. I know Gen 1 was plagued with some issues, but as far as I can see now, their Gen 2, their refinements have fixed out the bugs, and it looks like it's a pretty friggin' awesome system. I really want one. And again, with that platform, they went for a caliber conversion system as well. 308, 5.56, 300 blackout. Now we're talking that's some serious development. So I'm gonna give them kudos for one of those. If I had one of those here, it'd be a contender. So anyways, guys, moving on. Alrighty, guys, next up for your consideration, we have the B&T USW A1, standing for the Universal Service Weapon. And this thing is all kinds of freaking cool. Basically, this is on my list because it was the first, in my opinion, example of a pistol, a sidearm, being succinctly packaged as a carbine. Basically ready to go. You can draw this thing from a holster, albeit not with this forward grip, but you can with a light laser combo. And this thing is awesome. Developed again for law enforcement. Again, have that sidearm that they can just whip out and then, you know, take your initial shots as a sidearm. Whip out that stock if you need to further engage out further. You know, get this thing locked in your shoulder. Look through your optic, and again, the cool thing about this optic is it runs over this bridge, so it doesn't reciprocate along with the slide itself. We are clear. Different mag extensions as well, so you can flush fit a +2 or a +13 for a total of 30 rounds in this system. You're starting to see some aftermarket support as well via custom Smith manufacturing. It's a cool little vertical canted grip here, which I really like, as well as a little side charger up here if you don't want to just use these big old ears to charge this thing. Little front sight blade incorporated there as well. Good stuff. B&T guys, they make some super quality stuff. And I just really like this. Again, not only because it did this, it also kind of spawned a new area in the industry. Flux is probably the other best company that I've seen put out something for one of these things. They do the chassis system for the Glocks and the SIG 320s. I mean, the Ronis, the chassis systems for the Glocks preceded this gun, but they didn't do it as well. And they were more so a chassis. Again, this is actually a pistol, the Sphinx pistol. And this is all fully integrated. This is its own standalone system, and I think it's very, very smart. So this will remain on the top list of mine because I also really like to know with the stock. It's really, really cool. Just, guys, it's a good time. Highly recommend checking it out. And B&T, please make a full auto version of this. And the Beretta 93R really needs to be knocked off its proverbial pedestal because this would be the coolest machine pistol in my humble opinion. Alrighty, gents, you know what time it is. We got the Lynx, and we're gonna push the button. This thing is cool and wild and very hard to hold out. Stretched arms, and I'm gonna pop my camera out so we can get a better view here. There we go. Better-ish. Oh man, this thing is really cool. I really like it. I'm gonna put it back on the wall and then we're gonna talk about it a little bit more. Alrighty guys, we're gonna finish the Lynx over here on the wall because I can show you guys things on it a little bit better this way rather than trying to show it in my arms while I'm gasping for air and sweating profusely. So we'll finish it off up here. Now guys, does this thing still count as one of the most innovative firearms of the last decade? I want to say yes. I have a hard time justifying it. I don't know. I'm going to be undecided on this one. You guys can let me know below. I'm going to say Ronnie Barrett with the original Light 50, the M82. That thing was a game changer. For sure. That was the first time that a soldier got to run around with the 50 BMG. Semi-auto anyways, and wreak hell. So that's pretty cool. That was super innovative. I would sooner run into battle with this than, I want a Barrett 107. Like, Don't get me wrong, I really want a Barrett 107. But I would take this over that due to how compact it is, easier for entry out of a vehicle and such. It's very pleasant to shoot despite being a 50. That long recoil action really sucks up a lot of the recoil. That's not bad. Also, the balance and the handling, I think, is much superior on this due to it being a bullpup and a lot of the weight being centered around here. You can rest it in your shoulder. You can shoot this thing from the shoulder. I shot this thing one-handed in one of my videos just to show how user-friendly and handleable it was. I also shot a steel plate until it broke the support with this thing from the shoulder standing. That was in my shooting video. So again, that just goes to show really the shootability of this system. I think this is the most shootable semi-automatic 50 cal in existence. Does that make it the most innovative? I don't know. I like the long recoil system. That's smart. Having the barrel, store like this is really cool. I'm undecided. Guys, let me know below. I'm probably going to go with yes, just because, again, the fact that it is the most, maybe not the most innovative, but in my opinion, the most effective gun in this category in the last decade. That would be, I can say that for sure. Now, guys, to wrap up, there is one other gun that I would like to have on this list that I thought of while doing this video, and that is the Luago Arms Alien Pistol. I think that gun is pretty revolutionary for a pistol. Give me a second to the FK Bruno field pistol, the 7.5. That thing is pretty darn cool as well. But the Luago Arms, I want to get my hands on one. I haven't personally handled one. Everything I've read, though, seems to be pretty wild about that gun, so I do want to consider that for its innovation. It's pretty wild departure from your traditional pistol, so I'm considering it in that respect as well. So, guys, I think that's the video. Let me know what you think. This was a lot of fun to do. It was fun to rehash a lot of these old things, talk about why they were and why they potentially still are incredibly innovative and still inspiring designs today as they're going forward. You guys stuck with me all this time. I'll give you guys a quick show of the safe. We got some fun stuff in there. Some fun stuff I haven't shown anyone yet. Foul bar. We saw the bar. There's an RPK back there. Ooh, the HK53. Grease gun. Bunch of pistols from Black Box Customs. Some fun stuff. Underfolder down there. That thing's been on my Insta, but it has not been on YouTube yet. Guys, that's going to be it. Thanks for sticking with me. Let me know below what you think. Again, my style has changed a lot in the last year and a half. Thank you for your feedback. Trolls, and you guys, a lot of you guys were assholes, but I got some kernels of wisdom in amongst all of the garbage. Nonetheless, I appreciate it, and you're welcome to post whatever the heck you want. Be respectful-ish, and we'll go from there. Guys, in case I didn't tag it earlier, follow me on Instagram at arm.and.gun. I post there daily. Guys, thanks a ton. I'll catch you in the next one, which is going to be pretty darn soon with that Arm&Gun out.